video on some leftovers that I've got and what I'm going to do with them. So I worked yesterday and there was leftover new potatoes. Less people came to the function than there was actually going to be, so I'd cooked these potatoes, so I didn't send them out. I thought, well, I'll use them at home instead so they don't get wasted. So what my idea was, my mum used to do what she called moussaka, but it wasn't. It was basically, because my mum and dad didn't like aubergines, it was like all vegetables that went in a moussaka. It was basically just fried potatoes with mince and a white sauce on top of it. So I don't know why she called it moussaka. I don't know why it happened. But I was kind of thinking, well, we could do something similar to that. So we'll fry off these leftover new potatoes, and we'll use those as layers with some cooked mince that I've got. So this, I've got some cooked mince that was in the freezer, and it was the bacon mince. So it was cooking bacon which I soaked overnight in water just to get rid of the excess saltiness, and then I cooked it down with tomato and onion. It's very nice, and kind of like a cheaper alternative to mince. And I've used it to make meatballs and things. So it's you kind of think bacon, cheap stuff. It's not particularly good quality, but it's just the ends from the bacon joints that they can't properly slice and get nice slices out of. So as long as you prepare to put up with that, you can get a cheaper bacon. You just need to work with it. But anyway, so we've got some of that left over, and then we'll got some onions, and then in the freezer I found some remnants of some tomato sauce. So I think what we'll do is we'll fry these off, and then we'll cook the onions down, add a bit of that tomato to kind of like further bulk it out, and then mix the onions and the tomato and the mince together. And then we've got some leftover feta from the function last night as well, so we'll crumble some of that into it as a layer. And what else have we got? Yeah, and then we'll top it off with a white sauce, and then probably a bit of cheese, probably a bit of grated cheese as well, and then we'll kind of bake it in the oven. So it'll be a bit like a potato and mince bake, but we're going to fry these potatoes so they're just a little bit more interesting and a little bit more crisp. And just like add another layer of flavour rather than just plain cooked potatoes. So it'll be nice, and it's just a case of seeing what we've got and seeing how we use it up, and seeing if I can do a better version of something my mum used to make, which I didn't think was that interesting. I'd much rather have lasagna, but anyway. So we'll do those type of things, and then we'll put it all together, and then we'll bake it, and we'll see how it turns out. Right, let's put this together. So I think, because the amount of potatoes that I've got, I think we're going to do 2 layers of potatoes, 2 layers of, we'll see. Let's do meat on the bottom. Let's do meat on the bottom, because the potatoes will just end up baking and frying hard on the bottom of the container. So let's put the meat on the bottom. Yeah, because you don't put a layer of pasta on the bottom of a layer of on a lasagna, do you? You put meat on the bottom. So let's treat it like that. It's very delicious, by the way. Bacon mince, you know, delicious, and cheaper than any other mince that you can get your hands on. So that's that. It's not hot, is it? It's going to burn the worktops. And then layer of potatoes. I think, yeah, I've only got enough potatoes for 2 layers. That's fine. And then we'll do a layer of cheese on top of that. I don't know. No, I'm not going to fry. I have got some more potatoes left, but I just wanted them for breakfast tomorrow morning. I was going to fry them with some onions and have poached eggs for breakfast in the morning. Thought that'd be kind of quite nice. Yeah, no, no, there was just enough for 2 layers, and then. So this is the cheap feta from the from the supermarket. So we are. It's a little bit Greeky, isn't it? You know, even though at the back of the stove, making some breadcrumbs. So, oh no, that's not. That's ricotta salata, is that? That's not feta. That's ricotta salata, is that? I wonder why it was a little bit different. How's that taste? Better now. It's got a bit of age to it. Oh, we're going to do 2 layers of cheese. So then, another layer of meat. Yeah, we're going to do 2 layers of cheese. I think that's what we've got. I'm knocking everything. I'm supposed to go to a party this afternoon, but we don't have to rush to that. Friends are having a baby, so we're celebrating. She's very excited. So that, and then another layer of potatoes, and then the leftover feta from last night. Turn those off, otherwise they'll burn. So, that. And then a layer of the feta that was left over from last night, and then white sauce on top, and then some grated cheese. So it's going to be a fairly cheesy, meaty affair. I suppose I'll probably bulk it out with more potatoes, but it's about using up what I've got rather than anything else. It's not going to be awful. I don't know how it will be as delicious as I think it will be. It'll certainly be nicer than the one that Mum made. But it's alright, she doesn't watch my videos, so she hasn't even got the internet. So that, and then we've got a little bit of leftover feta. So just to use that up for the sake of not putting it in the freezer, because otherwise I've just ended up putting everything in the freezer, thinking I'll use that later. That's that, and then meat, and then I'll make some white sauce. So you don't need to see the rest of it, you just need to see when it's cooked and what it's going to be like. Topped with white sauce, or topped off with white sauce, and then cheese. So everything's cooked. It's not as if we need to cook any cooked pasta or anything like that, like you would do with a pasta bake. So just a simple case of into the oven, crisp the top, heat everything, and get everything hot, and it'll be ready. So I'm going some in. So I'm going to put it in at 125 for about an hour and a half. But I'd reckon 50 minutes at 180 would be about right if I was doing it. If I was going to be in, but we'll see what it's like when it's done. Let's have a look. Smells good. I mean, I can't imagine it's not going to be delicious. Why wouldn't it be? So, scissors to cut the cheese. Otherwise the first person gets all the cheese. Lucky for them, but rubbish for everyone else. Might be a bit soft. Might be a bit soft. But we'll see. Ah. That's alright. That's alright. I think I might have overdone it on the cheese. not to worry. So, it'll burn my mouth out, won't it? Let's just cut that one here. And then put those in the wash. Oh, delicious. Very hot. That's delicious. So, the bacon mince works in lots of different things. So there we go. That is, I'm going to eat far too much of that and make myself feel poorly. That is a success.